Hello, guys, and welcome back to the WildTalk podcast with me, Dan, and I was going to say the lovely co-host Corey, but I've already used that intro, so I'm not going to use that again. Just Corey.
Cheers, thanks for that.
You're right, mate. How are you?
I don't know if you could hear, but while he was doing that, then I'm sat coughing my guts up in the background.
No, I couldn't hear a single bit, which was beautiful.
I think either Susie or one of my kids has brought in the fucking awful leggy into our house. So
Oh, you love to see it.
we're all coughing and spluttering and choking our own phlegm.
Sounds grim. Sounds purely grim. Other than that, how have you been? Other than
I was going to say, out of everything that has made me ill recently, this has been the most mild. So it's actually not that bad, to be fair.
It's not bad at all, really, is it? In the grand scheme of things.
I passed out on a nurse this morning.
That's great.
Getting my bloods done.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well done.
I did warn her, and she chose not to pay attention.
No, I'm proud of you, though. Well done.
Technically not my fault, but
No,
that was fun. Yeah,
sounds it. Sounds pretty fun, mate.
I've spent all day. I was watching YouTube this morning. I was watching some Swedish or I don't know, bloody Danish bloke, and Simon Eardley came on after that, and just all day Simon Eardley's been on my YouTube, so I've been watching his videos all day.
That's quite nice. I've been working all day.
You've been what? Sorry,
working all day.
I don't remember asking, but go on. What you been working all day?
What do you mean? What I've been working all day? I've been working my bloody job.
Yeah. Well, okay. What's your job? Because even I don't fully understand what you do.
I work in IT. I'm an IT support technician.
You're like Chandler from Friends. Nobody actually knows what.
Nobody knows what he does. He just has money.
You're,
well,
you're
I don't even have that.
A transponder or whatever she says.
Yeah, I work in IT, so that's what I do.
Yeah, that sounds.
There you go.
That sounds all right. That
it's legit. It is legit.
Bloody hell! I apologise.
But yeah, no. Apart from working, I took a lovely delivery of the Puffin's Life on the Atlantic Edge book today, which I'm very excited to read. Oh, I have been reading.
You haven't read it yet? How is it?
I've read maybe the first sort of 15 pages, and do you know what? It's very well written and it's very, very good.
Yeah, well, I've seen what I've been following his as he's been kind of doing it on Instagram and stuff like that, and it does look quite interesting, to be fair.
I'm fighting the urge to flick through the book and just look at the pictures straight away. I just want
that's about
to be a surprise.
Yeah,
it is. That's about it. Yeah.
Picture books.
Well, I mean, you're from Hull, mate, so you really can't talk.
I got an A in English.
All right, show off.
Yeah, it took me 3 years to learn how to spell English, but yeah, I got an A in it.
Oh, well done, mate. Anyone can cheat.
I got a C in maths.
I got a C in maths.
Which, well, that's surprising because you can't even count to C.
You can count to 10 on one hand, mate.
I'm not that inbred.
Dunno.
It's 3 on one hand, actually.
Oh, 3 on one hand and 7 on the other.
Yeah. Oh, that reminded me of a Family Guy joke.
Oh, none of them, please.
No, it was a funny one. It was like these numbers what was it? Oh, that's it. When Meg, she's wearing she's on about something. She's got a t-shirt on, and Shuey, I think it was, is like, oh, why have you got 3 holes for your bro? Oh no, he's naked. That's it.
Yeah.
Why have you got 3 nipples? And she goes, 2 of them are birthmarks. He's like, those numbers still don't add up.
Yeah.
I love Family Guy.
Family Guy is great. Love it.
It's what we do at home is it's more me now because Susie just watches. What are you watching, Susie? Wednesday. I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's like
Wednesday Addams, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't get into that. It's an identity for women now. When as soon as that program came out, every single woman on the planet became depressed. They all got their bangs done, long hair. Started doing wacky dances on TikTok and hating the dad. Yeah,
basically, yeah, pretty much in a nutshell. Yeah, that's not
anyways, what we do is I'll watch every episode of Family Guy from series 1 to series 18, 19, 20, whatever it is on now. And as soon as that finishes, I go to The Simpsons and watch every single episode of The Simpsons.
Yeah, that's a good route.
By the time I go back to Family Guy, new episodes have come out. And then by the time I go back to The Simpsons, new episodes have come out. So it kind of pecks off Disney. Pay for Disney, I might as well binge the hell out of it.
Yeah, you might as well, mate. You might as well. It's what it's there for. It's what it is there for.
It's the only streaming the only streaming network I think that we actually pay for and don't sponge off somebody else. But
Yeah, I probably shouldn't admit that on a podcast, but hey
What are they
ho.
going to do? Sue me?
But you never know, maybe. It'd be funny now if you get sued.
Yeah, that's fine.
um, so I'm sure everybody's loving listening to you talk about your Family Guy habits, but what are we actually doing today? I know we had a brief
Well,
chat earlier.
Well, yeah, well, I mean, as apart from recording 2 hours later than what we normally do, which is completely
Yes.
thrown off my bedtime because I was half dozing on the sofa, and every now and again I was just, oh no, we're recording too, we're recording too.
Soz.
Yeah, it's all right, it's all right. So
British Isles, that kind of stuff we're doing today.
yes, because I watched the Wild Isles the other day. You watched the Wild.
I watched the Wild Isles. I'm going to go as far as saying this is potentially one of the best.
I was just about to say the same thing.
I've
This is
watched.
my favourite one so far, and we're only one episode in. I think it's because everything that the film, everything that photographing, all the locations, is a lot of them I've been to them places. I've seen these species. And I'm not watching it get jealous that I can't go photograph a gazelle getting its bloody throat ripped out by a pack of cheetahs.
Yeah, I think it's a lot nicer that it's like close. I want to say the words close to home. You know, it is relatively close to home. You know, it's all within our reach. So yeah, it's been nice to see. It was nice to watch the footage of the puffins on the Farne Islands having visited.
It was nice to see quite a few of my friends on Instagram, people that I chat to a fair bit, and stuff like that, actually being part of it as well, like helping.
Yeah, it was good.
Stuff like that, and getting their name on there.
What I would like to add, and this will be the last time I maybe moan about this on a podcast, but and I was speaking to my mum about it when because we were all watching the episode or watching the episode together, and there was various pieces of footage within that within the first episode which not didn't wind me up because of the footage. It wound me up because of the people online, and I think you know where I'm going to go with this. But there was the footage of the kingfisher diving out of the water.
Oh yeah.
And there was the footage of the golden eagle feeding on a deer carcass.
Correct.
Now
it was in the Cairngorms.
Yeah. Now
not in. Yeah. Sorry. Go carry on.
I don't want to launch and say that I don't want to say that the film company who've made it have done this, but it just seems oddly baited.
Yeah,
as is the kingfisher diving out of what looked like a tank soap. Now, I've got no issues with either of them because I've done them. Slew me if you want for the people that are listening that don't like that, but I'm used to it. I do it. I see no issue in doing it. As we've spoken with various hide owners over the past few episodes, where baiting can actually help. Anyway, that's not why I'm moaning. I'm moaning because these people sit online and say, "Oh, this is cheating and that is cheating," and "Oh, that's bad. It's bad for the environment. It's bad for the subject. It's bad for the species." But what do you think David Attenborough and his team do? That's where I'm going with it.
It's trend, though, isn't it? Of course, because you're doing it, it's the worst thing on the planet. But
as long as David Attenborough's doing it, it's all fine.
Well, so, I mean, I agree with that because David Attenborough is a certain type, so I love him to bits. Like,
oh yeah, he's amazing. He could go.
I'd swap my own grandparents.
He could punch a koala in the face, and I'd be like, "Well done, mate.
Good job.
You're great. Top
There's
job."
a koala right for eating food that it shouldn't eat.
But that's my point. People will sit and abuse other people online for using a kingfisher diving setup, but as long as David Attenborough's speaking over it and it's in a documentary, it's deemed fine by the same people. They'll probably gas about it and get really excited watching the footage. But yeah,
do you want to piss me off?
I'm just getting that out there because I did speak to my mum about it and I was like, these muppets don't understand that is how stuff is filmed.
Well, of course, there's stuff like golden eagles. It takes years to get that sort of intimate footage.
So I think, exactly. Now, I don't want to say that the filmmakers did that because I don't know. There's a strong possibility that they didn't do that. But I think
you don't know, do you?
You just don't know. But you can bait stuff, leave a camera set up at it, and then just like leave it for days. Do you know what I mean? So,
yeah. Well, what pissed me off even more than that was the people that went through and listed the locations of everything.
Oh yeah, like they knew what they were talking about despite getting
Not
like
even that.
loads of them wrong.
Imagine having this Golden Eagle location, publishing its location online, and then in the next 6 months, that location, which was once secretive, now has hundreds of people visiting it because a couple of people thought it was a good idea to plaster the location all
But it's
over
fine because the people that plastered it didn't even get it right. They just literally just said the Cairngorms. Well,
No, they didn't. They didn't even say the Cairngorms. So a lot of the comments I saw some for the Trossachs, which is like Loch Lomond area. I saw some for the Highlands, which is up like East.
Are we talking about the same person here, or are you just generalising?
There's a few people.
I saw one Muppet sit there and try list all of the locations like they'd been involved in the filmmaking and got like 6 or 7 of the locations completely wrong.
Yeah. We've probably both seen the same couple of people doing it. I'm pretty sure I know who the person is that you're on about doing it.
Yeah.
But the point is, like they've just put up all that information there, especially when the badges and stuff like that. And I mean, the Orc is a bit different. Everybody knows the Shetlands and stuff like that.
I wouldn't mind that badger location. So if anybody has it, do let me know, please.
Yeah, there's a few people on Instagram that seem to publicly know where it is.
Oh, well.
The point is, obviously, a lot of these species, they aren't going around recording pigeons or grey squirrels or recording quite.
No, they're recording, sensitive subjects sometimes.
Particularly stuff like golden eagles. You don't just plaster where you think they are.
Absolutely not.
I'm very much aware of a couple of golden eagle locations up in Scotland. I've not even visited them myself because, firstly, it's not worth the time. If I'm only going up there for a week, I don't have a week to sit there and follow it. But because if you scare them off, you've ruined something. Exactly.
I am quite looking forward to episode 2 of
Red Squirrels.
Yes, because it's filmed at Neil McIntyre's Red Squirrel Hide, which is amazing. I don't think you visited that yet, have you, mate?
No, I think if I do go up to Scotland this winter, it's one that I'd like to go. Not for the red squirrels, but for the crested tits. But
yeah, I quite liked that Red Squirrel Hide. Again, people frowning upon using commercial hides. There you go. David Attenborough's just gone to a commercial hide to film. Not
when
David.
They get the Osprey, a lot of the Osprey footage that they'll have, because I know there's Osprey stuff coming up. I think, anyways, that'll be filmed at Rutland or that'll be filmed up at Gordon's.
It looked like it were filmed up Gordon's Way, the footage that I saw on the trailer. So this is it. It's just people film companies use these things because that's what they do. But I don't want to have this podcast.
Yeah,
this episode of just being 30 minutes of us slating people as per usual. But
so, what was your favourite species in the first episode?
It's a tough one. It is a tough one. So I quite liked the orcas just purely for the fact that I've never seen them. So they just intrigue me. It's because they learn so much, or they adapt to so much behavior. And I think I remember listening to another one of David Attenborough's documentaries where they actually they adapt to the environment they're in to hunt. And I think he said, and I'm probably butchering this, but I think he said something along the lines of not every pod hunts differently to another pod. They all have individual, unique hunting strategies.
And
so I did quite like that. Yeah, I did quite like that, especially watching them swim up when they swam up the kelp channels, but kept their dorsal fin out, like underneath the water, so the seals couldn't see them approaching. I think that it's just incredible to think or to see the wildlife adapt so well.
Hopefully next year we'll get up there and see them ourselves.
Absolutely, it's definitely been a trip for a while. I'd love to do that.
We'll get it planned for next year. We'll figure, because I'll be driving by then. We'll do some. We'll visit the Shetlands. What we'll have to do is, while we're up there, there's something I'd love to do. I'm not a big fan of flying. However, the world's shortest commercial flight is in the Shetland Islands, and it'd be a shame for us to not go up there and do the world's shortest commercial flight.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah, we'll get it planned.
What was your favourite subject that was
The
filmed.
orcas, 100% the orcas.
Now I've got
I
a
love
little
the
niche
dormouse.
second one as well. I've got a little second one that I think if you asked many people, they'd probably overlook. Now I can't remember the name, but it was it was the plant.
The plant.
You know the plant that trapped they talked about pollination and how different things, different flowers and different plants pollinate by using insects. It was the sort of funnel shaped plant that trapped the flies at the bottom of it with like little hairs almost, and then what happens is it then like how do you explain it? Like pollen explodes out, and then it coats the flies,
and the flies fly off and then spread.
And then
pollen.
once it's like all the pollen's exploded, the hairs sort of die off, and then the flies just get released. I thought that was mental. It was mental to watch though that a plant has evolved so much to just be able to do that purely for reproduction. I think it's
pretty cool. And when people watch these programs, they kind of forget that the animal kingdom isn't just animals. A lot of it is plants and trees and fungus. And I mean, look at there's so many species of fungus across the world that have such important jobs, and not even just important jobs, like cool jobs. Oh, sorry, I just had an Instagram notification. Oh, Cotswold Wildlife Photography tagged you in a post. Yeah, that was really cool. Plants are interesting.
I quite liked the fact about the oak trees, and I'm probably going to get the percentage wrong, but am I right in thinking they said out of all the world's ancient oaks, 80% of them belong to or have grown in the UK?
No, I think you're getting mistaken.
Was it something else?
It was the chalk streams. So
it's the chalk streams one.
80% of the world's chalk streams.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And it was that was my first favorite was the orcas. My second favorite was the damoiselles, the damselflies.
That was cool.
Watching them and watching go underwater and lay eggs and stuff like that, and watching all the males there. Because me and Rob photographed them up in Scotland last year. And they are really cool. There were tons flying about. They were doing the same sort of stuff then. They were breeding. They were finding like a little roosting spot, like their own little plant to attract the female. Yeah, it was really cool to watch.
It's definitely an amazing series.
Only one episode in as well.
It baffles me how they can top an episode, but I know for a fact that there's going to be bigger and better ones out there. I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, there's rumours on the grapevine. Apparently, the BBC have denied it, but they're not actually airing the last episode in case of treading on the toes of the politicians about rewilding.
They're not airing it on the BBC. I've heard they're going to air it on iPlayer. Yeah, which I think is absolutely ridiculous.
It's because it was not actually to do with the subjects as such. It was because a lot of it was about rewilding. Reintroducing species, and apparently it's the reintroduction of a lot of species that triggers the politicians. So that's the reason why they haven't confirmed it. They just said they're not. They said it was never intended to be aired. That episode, it was just going to be an iPlayer special. But that's a lot of crap. We all know it.
I just think it's ridiculous that they just can't grow a pair and just air it with the sake that they might, piss a few people off. But the people that it'll piss off need to be pissed off. In order to
people that it's going to piss
change,
off, they're not going to listen anyways. They're just
exactly.
BBC going to lose listeners and whatever.
It's ridiculous.
I don't care. I'll still be watching it anyways on iPlayer.
Oh, I 100% will watch every single episode of that series.
So just sort of off topic, but not off topic because the questions are familiar. Did you get many questions on the story earlier on?
Yes.
Because I've just before you ask, I've got 6 questions. One was from tonight. I only got one response, but I actually put this same post up a couple of weeks ago, but for a vlog that I was going to film, but because I was ill, I never actually filmed it. And I thought, do you know what? I might as well use these questions tonight and not let them go to waste.
Yeah, go for it.
You ask your questions first, and I'll.
I got 2. I got asked who's on tonight's episode. It's just me and Corey. And then Christo Captures asked me, what is a species that you would most like to photograph or see? So I'm going to go first. I'm going to go straight in to a polar bear.
That's
Yeah,
good. Yeah,
they're just cool.
yeah, cool. Oh, it's such a tough question. That actually,
Always would look. I think polar bears have been on my list of like dream things to photograph since I started. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go polar bear. But that being said, I think penguins are also equally as cool.
Yeah. See, I was thinking penguins out because I was looking. It was weird. I was looking at penguins there. They were on the Falkland Islands website about the trips that they do. For 10 grand, I'll give it a miss for now. But yeah, that's up there. But no, it's going to be, and I'm buzzing because I'll actually get the chance to photograph them next year. But wolves, I absolutely love wolves. They've always been one of my favorite animals.
Wolves are cool.
Badgers are up there. Musk oxen, I'd absolutely love to photograph them. Polar bear like you.
It's so hard. Like I couldn't sit and say.
No, right. Tonight's British Isles based. What we'll do is we'll ignore all the out and we'll just keep it British based. Is there a British species that you still want to photograph?
I mean,
it's badgers for me. 100%.
Just for the pure rarity. I mean, getting a Scottish wildcat on the back of the camera would be mental. That'd be so cool.
I agree. I have seen several Scottish wildcats in my life, however, not wild. In zoos and stuff like that.
I know Mark and Sue at Penny Hedge had one night on the trail cam where a Scottish wildcat came in. One night, and it was never ever seen again, which is pretty cool to have that in your garden on a trail cam.
Yeah,
I was trying to think, is there anything else?
We could chat about bloody the abominable snowman, and that would appear in Mark and Sue's garden because that's the kind of people they are.
True, they just get everything.
We were last year when me and Rob went. I said to him, "Do you ever get a sparrow walk in?" And I was like,
he was telling me about this.
One appeared the other week, but no, it never ever comes in. I was like, "Oh, fair enough." And then 10 minutes later, it came in and it just landed on the perch in front of us. Sent it to Mark.
Mark did it with me this time. He said, "Oh, the sparrowhawk ain't gonna come in for you at all today." And I was like, "Oh, fair enough. We'll see about that." And within 25 minutes of him leaving me at the hide, sparrowhawk was in.
It was funny this time around because he said to her, I asked about goshawk because he was like, "Oh no, you don't really see many around here." An hour later, I saw one fly over, so I told him. So he was like, "Oh yeah, you won't get a snowy owl now." So I took a photograph of the perch, just edited a snowy owl onto it, and sent it to him.
That's funny, isn't it? I'm just trying to think: is there any more like subjects that I would like to photograph? I mean, I've probably an osprey for me. I know they pop over in the summer, but I drew a blank on that, and I won't be going back to that place again.
I have 5 dives.
I won't be going back there. I think if I go for them again, I'll probably go to Gordon's.
I want to give that one a go, but I really liked it down at Rutland. I had 5 dives. The only problem is we did a morning session, so it was really crap light. So next time I do an evening session. But yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, so I'm definitely probably ospreys. But I mean, there's so much that I'd like to photograph. There's stuff that I've photographed that I want to photograph more. You know, I want to work more with the foxes and get them in different seasons, and more kingfisher photos, which
you'll be pleased to know that in the next couple of weeks, I'm starting work on a patch of land that I've been given to by a landowner, a farmer.
That's great.
Foxes, he has them in abundance on there, so that's something I'm going to be doing a lot of work with. So you'll be pleased to know that it's going to be non-commercial as well. I'm not letting it out to people. It's just going to be for my own and maybe my friends' use. But yeah, you can pop down and photograph them.
Yeah, that sounds good.
We'll try and keep all the questions at the best British based. So the question I got asked tonight was by Max Wildlife Photo. And it was, what is Dan's favourite magic spell? So I know the answer to this one. It's Dicus erectus, but
is it?
Yeah,
I'm not sure. Don't normally work. You've got to have specific wrist action for that, and I just don't have the time.
Do you need a special blue wand?
Yeah, exactly. What's my favourite spell? I mean, it's got to be like Expecto Patronus or something.
What would your Patronus be?
Do you want to know what my Patronus actually is? Because I am about to download and play Hogwarts Legacy in the next couple of weeks. So my Patronus on Pottermore is actually a weasel.
That sounds about right for you, little Weasley cunt. Oh,
Yeah. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
one word that we shouldn't say, and I said it.
Oh
I've done
no!
so well after like 8 episodes,
Oh
and I've not said
no!
it.
Oh
Mine's an
no!
Osprey.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, man's an Osprey on the
Well,
Harry Potter game.
I'm
Susie's,
gonna
Susie, what was your,
the
what was your
editing
Patronus?
the editing on this episode now.
Susie's was a deer.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Same as Harry Potter's. Harry Potter's was a stag, so that's pretty cool.
Do you know why it was a stag?
No, not
Because
really.
his dad was an animagus, and that was the form that he took.
Right. Sorry.
Right. Okay. I've got 5 questions from 3 people from a couple of weeks ago. I thought I might as well use them now.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to ask one of them. So Richard Campion, obviously we know him through YouTube. He's asked 3 questions, really good questions. One of them was the dream subject photograph. We've already answered that.
Yeah.
Next question that he asked was, what's the image you had to work hardest for? Oh,
none, because all I do is go to paid hides.
I was literally about to say. None of yours you worked hard for because you just had to go to a paid hide for all of them.
If only.
I'd probably say the goats for you, I reckon.
Yeah, probably not an image I would pick. Now, I know exactly which image I'm going to pick. And yes, it was taken at a commercial hide. However, it will be my barn owl in the snow.
Yeah, I think that's once in a million, well, 1 in a million shot, I'd say.
And that's so the only reason I deem that as an image I had to work hard for. I spent 3 consecutive weekends, Friday to Monday, 14-hour nights in like -6 conditions, trying to get that photo. So, and sleeping in my car in a field. Not ideal. So yeah,
No.
I'd probably say that's probably up there with the image I've probably worked like the hardest for. But then, you can look at the fox images that I've got in the snow. Now, I don't want to say the foxes were easy to get because they weren't. You had to build up some level of trust for them to come close enough to you. But, I did that there and back in a day, setting off at like 3 o'clock in the morning. So it just like, it all depends really on like what you deem as like hard work. But I'd probably say the barn owl in the snow, I think, for me.
It's tough for me. I've got a few. I mean, my Adders shot, it wasn't a great shot, but the Adders was difficult because I visited the location multiple times over the space of like 2 years, never saw one, and then finally saw one. And every time I kind of got down to take the shot, it'd disappear. So I had to lay down in the heather and stuff like that for about an hour and a half to wait for it to come back out again. Finally came back out. I managed a little brief shot and then off it went. That was kind of I worked hard for that one. Let's go for my Instagram now. Dippers. Oh, right. Okay. So dippers, right. So these dippers that I photographed. So all the dippers here on my Instagram are the same pair from this one location. And I've been 5 times. And each time I've had to do a little bit more to get the shot. So I went from sat on the bank to literally sat freezing my ass off in the river, hidden away, waiting for them. That was tough because I was so cold in the elements. Oh, yeah. Right. Here we go. The one shot that I've worked hard for is the Mull Otter. That is, I've just seen it now, 100%. I've been to Mull 3 times over the last just over a year and a bit.
Yeah.
And every time we've gone on a proper search for otters, going around locks, walking for hours and in all weather, especially like this time. Me and Rob went, we was on Mull for 7 days and we spent 6 days looking for the otters. And then the last day we thought we'll try one last location. Walked around the entire lock, and then eventually we got the dog otter, and it was the best time we've ever had because he kept coming up to us, and yeah, he was really, really brave and chilled out. So
I'm gonna change my answer slightly. Now,
there's no takebacks.
No, but I want to. Well, then there's no takebacks, okay. But what I'll do is I'll throw a special mention in for my image of the red stag dashing through the water. Now, it's not necessarily an image I've worked. It didn't take me.
I got that image on my first day there.
Not as good as mine though.
I just never posted it. You don't know that.
I've never actually seen it, so it might never have happened.
It did happen. It's still on my computer somewhere, actually. It's
not necessarily an image I've worked hard to get. All I did was run around with my 500mm. Why I deem it as an image worthy of that accolade is the fact that it's been an image that I've wanted for the past 5 years. So I've gone
the
down.
red deer rut is definitely special. I mean,
it's special, but that was a specific image that I wanted since the first time I visited Bushy Park. So if you want to throw that in, then maybe I worked hard for that because I went down for like the past 5 years in a row to
it
get
was a good photo. I'll give you that. It was an alright photo.
I've just actually, as we've just talked about it, I've pulled up my Dropbox to just have a look, and I've got a full sequence. So I've only ever shared one photo from the sequence. So I think my next post will probably be, probably be another photo out of the sequence because I've never even posted them, nor looked at them, to be honest. I just sent them out for publication. That was it.
Fair enough. That's yeah. Are we? I mean, I've done Bushy Park for the last 2 years. Should we do it this year for the podcast? Should we go on to Bushy for the deer rut?
I'm down for that.
I always keep October. I've got one wedding mid-October, but I always keep the first week of October free for the deer rut. I reckon we'll get a few days down there.
Yeah, sounds good. What is your next question?
Birds or mammals? I mean, when I first started doing wildlife, it was always mammals, but birds for definite now. It's an easy question. I love birds. There's 636 species in the UK, and I've not photographed all of them, and they're just much more enjoyable to photograph.
I can't pick either. It's going to have to be just a mixture of both. I love foxes, I love badgers, I love photographing the stags, and then I love kingfishers, owls. Yeah, it's too hard. I know there's some photographers that go towards, one or the other, but yeah, puffins, it's just, it's too
You've
hard.
not really got any decent puffin photos, so have you?
I have. It's been a while since I've been to the Farne Islands or even to photograph puffins, but there's some sitting around in the archives that I've just not got around to doing from years and years ago. I was thinking that the other day. I was thinking maybe I'll post a puffin photo. So yeah, keep your eyes out for that because maybe one will appear on the Instagram.
Fair enough. Have I ever worked with water voles? Very important to our isles, conservationally speaking. Yeah, they're interesting. Not even thought about it. Have you?
No, it has been a subject that I have wanted to photograph.
I actually know the locations of 2 areas for water voles as well. I've just never really had the time or desire.
You say, I've never really. There's always been other subjects higher up in the chain of things I want to photograph. So yeah, maybe one day, but not anything. Not anything.
Don't want to listen to you waffling anymore.
No, that's fair.
Last question. Where is it gone? Favorite British animal. So not the best subjects, our dream subjects. Our favorite one. Ooh,
yeah.
I'll let you go first.
I don't because I can't even think like a favorite one.
It's probably going to be dippers for me.
Dippers are cool. The only aquatic songbird. But
cheers for that.
Yeah,
no I didn't ask for.
Well, I did say at the beginning before we started recording that I was going to crowbar just random facts in every now and then. So there's your first random fact. I'm going to go with it's a toss up between a fox or a badger for me.
Fair enough. I've never had the opportunity to actually properly photograph foxes. Never even seen a badger. Although I do have my friend has been working very hard on a set which might prove good for us in the future.
I think that's one of the main things that I want to get out of 2023 is working on a badger set. I've got
visit ours if you want. I've
got like 3 relatively near me. It's just finding the time to work on them properly.
Yeah, well, my friend, he found a set a couple of weeks ago and he's done a couple of stakeouts, and then the other night he finally had 4 of them come out.
That's cool.
Too dark for him to take any photos of them, but yeah, it's
a start. It's a start. As long as it's good to know that they're coming out when someone's there. So that's a positive sign.
Yeah, well, he sent me a video and one was just sniffing in the woodland about 15 feet away from him, and it just wasn't even fazed by him being there.
Here's a question for you: how many insects are there in the United Kingdom?
Individual or species?
I think this means species. Yeah, it must mean species because this number's really low for the entire country.
Oh, it's going to have to be. I mean, so I asked you a question the other. What episode was it?
I think it was the second episode, episode 2, maybe.
About wasps.
Yes, it was. I think it was episode 2, was that?
And there was about 9,000, including parasitic. I'm gonna hazard a guess between. I should know this as well because of my job. Well, my previous job, I talked a lot about insects. About 20. I want to say 29, 30,000.
So, according to this website that I'm on, there are over 20,000 insects in the United Kingdom. So maybe you were right. Well, there's definitely over 20,000, which is
I'll have a quick Google.
It's mental. Whilst we're on the topic of little insects, how many species of moth have been identified in the United Kingdom?
How many species of moth in the United? So just before I answer this, did you know that all butterflies are moths, but not all moths are butterflies?
I did.
Good.
I did. Good. It's cool.
So taking that into consideration, obviously, all butterfly species, and there's tons more species. I'm going to say 2,500.
You are so close. 2,400 species of moth.
Oh, that was yeah, that was. I thought it'd be about that.
Go on, let's get you then. How many species of non-marine mollusks are known to exist in the wild of the United Kingdom?
How many species of what?
Non-marine mollusks.
Non-marine mollusks.
Yeah.
So mollusks above. Oh, right. Okay. So you're talking like woodlouse and stuff like that.
There you go.
That's Oh, that's a good question. That. So I'm
enjoying this.
So I mean, yeah, woodlice. Marine mollusk. Oh, bloody hell, man. And there's me going real light on my questions with you.
Yeah, well.
I ain't got enough on. 250.
Nope. There are 220 species of non-marine mollusks known to exist in the wild.
Oh, so I put it out. I was close again.
However, 2 of them are locally extinct. So there's like 218. 218. 2 of them are locally extinct. So
I was close.
Yeah, you were pretty close. Let me just crowbar just a random fact. Oh, in fact, I'll ask you this. What is the largest of the 40 species of native freshwater fish found in the United Kingdom?
The largest?
Largest freshwater fish.
Wells catfish.
Wrong. It's the salmon.
No, don't tell me. How is it not? No, you haven't. I didn't hear you.
Oh, did you not hear me? Oh,
no, I didn't hear you. So, how is it not the Wells catfish? Because they've been pulled out at over £100.
Because it's not.
Are you talking like
freshwater fish found in the United Kingdom?
Okay, I suppose Wells catfish aren't technically native to UK.
Exactly.
It's either going to be
there's 40 species of native freshwater fish.
Yeah.
I did say in the question native freshwater fish.
Okay, that's my fault. It's not going to be a rainbow trout. I'm going to go with Atlantic salmon.
You're right, it is.
I'm quite keen on my fishing, and I hope they're going to pull a couple of them out this year. Oh, I'm enjoying this. He's probably testing my brain.
Yeah. Let's have a look. When was this released? Because I don't think that's right. Oh, it might be, actually. As of November the 10th, 2021, so it is a little bit far off. What was the most common, or what was the most frequent bird? Britain's most frequent bird. As of November 2021.
I mean, my first kind of thought would be a feral pigeon, but
that's wrong.
Is it wrong? Okay. Give me a hint.
It's smaller. It's smaller than a feral pigeon. A lot smaller than a feral pigeon. Smaller than a blackbird as well.
So starling?
Smaller.
Give me 5 guesses from now. So it's smaller than a starling. Is it a species of tit?
Nope.
Okay, right. Okay, I'll count that as a guess. Sparrow?
It is a species of sparrow.
Is it a tree sparrow? A house sparrow?
So you got it on with 2 guesses left. Yes, it's a house sparrow. As of November
Should I say tree?
2021.
I don't know why I said tree sparrow to start off because I know they're very rare. Oh, that's surprising. That
There you go.
cool. You got any more?
There's I'm just gonna flick through and see if there is any
Can you ask all of them? Go on, ask away.
no, because some of them aren't really like some of them aren't questions, some of them are literally just like blatant like facts. New research has shown the most biodiverse locations in the United Kingdom, with the Scottish Highlands taking the top rank because of its variety of natural animals and healthy flora.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, obviously you got your forest, you got your marshlands and heather moors and mountains and
Lots
rivers.
of diverse sort of habitat, isn't there, up there, which is
Yeah.
pretty cool.
I'll let you keep looking.
Yeah, apparently these are the European wildcat is the only verified large cat species in the UK.
Scottish wildcat, yeah.
That's what I meant.
Most of them now are a crossbred, but with domestic cats or feral cats.
And whilst we're on the topic of cats, this is maybe a stupid one. A black panther has been spotted roaming around the countryside in both counties on several occasions. There's been 28 sightings in Devon and Cornwall, apparently.
There's a few sightings up in moors and stuff as well, quite regularly.
Here we go. Here's a fun fact, one for Jen. Although it was only seen on a video once, North Wales is a recognised hotspot for large cats. It seems it's general knowledge among many local communities that a tiny population of big cats, such as pumas, exist within North Wales.
Yeah, but do you know what the people of Wales are like? Probably just having a little bit too much sheep fun.
Yeah, exactly. It's probably just a sheep dressed up in it. Of years of abuse, they've decided to evolve and dress up as stuff that they won't try penetrate. Anyway, we'll skip over that. But there's some interesting facts for you.
That's pretty cool.
I've got something of January 2023. Are these interesting, cool facts? No, this is just some random rubbish now on this website. What is the most common wild animal in the UK?
Common wild animal?
Oh, it's just like a generic species, is this?
Birds.
No, deer. There you go, apparently. Oh, here we go. As of 2022, what is the most endangered animal in the United Kingdom?
Ooh, most endangered. Give me a hint. Bird or mammal?
Mammal.
Is it marine?
No.
Are you sure it's a mammal?
Yes. It flies. I've probably made myself look like an absolute muppet.
Is it what species of bat is it?
You've got it. It is a bat.
Is it the long-eared bat? Is it?
It's not. No, it's not. It's the really little one.
Oh, bloody hell!
Begins with a P.
Don't tell me. I know it. It's on the tip of my tongue. Because there's a house near me. Is it the pip?
You're nearly there. Nearly.
I'm gonna make a fool of myself. Is it pipistrelle?
Yeah, bang on. Bang on.
They're endangered, but they're not the rarest.
They're not. I didn't say rarest. I said the most endangered.
So I live next to a pleasant council estate called Preston Road in Hull. If you're from Hull, and you will shiver at that. But they're knocking down all these buildings to build these new really expensive houses, which they're just trying to basically polish a shit with the area because it's not going to make it nicer. And there's one house that they can't knock down because they've got a large family of long-eared bats living in there.
That's quite cool. That's quite
cool.
Did you know that the pipistrelle can eat up to 3,000 insects in a night?
And people are blaming humans for the lack of insects on the planet.
And they've declined by 70%, or they declined by 70% between 1978 and 1993.
It makes sense because in the last 50 years, we've lost like 75% of our insects. And if that's their main diet, we're going to lose 75% of them.
Did you know?
Probably, but yeah.
This is a list of the most endangered animals in the UK, updated for 2022.
So what? How many are on there?
There's quite a few. So what I'll do is
let me see if I can guess any of it. If I can guess like the top 10.
One's a bird.
One's a bird. So I will say,
and it's not one you're expecting.
Is it starling?
It is, yes.
Yeah, I knew starlings were threatened.
I read about in something. In fact, I posted it on my reel when I did the starling murmuration. It's quite funny to sit and read that they're the most endangered when you've got like 100,000 of them flying over your head. It's
more in the fact that you look at populations 20 years ago, populations now they've declined like by like 85%. So is that number 2?
It was just number 2 on the list. I don't think it's in any particular order.
So give me a hint for the third one.
The third one, it was a species that was featured in episode 1 of Wild Isles.
Dormouse?
Yep, the hazel dormouse. Yep.
Yep, cool.
They've declined in Britain by over 50% since the year 2000. And in fact, they're already extinct in 17 counties.
It's because the locals just eat them.
Yes.
Feral.
The third one is an amphibian, I believe. Yeah, an amphibian.
Great crested newt.
Bang on, mate. Bang on. I'm just trying to see if there's any sort of...
Just to let people know, I do not have this list in front of me. I have no idea what website he's on or anything like that.
No, there's no... They've just dramatically declined in the last 40 years.
So I have a funny story to tell you. I'm not going to name the person because they will get arrested and fined, but somebody I know, and I may or may not be related to them. I educated them immediately when I found this, but somebody that went pond dipping and they had a fish tank at home, and I was like, oh, we found a couple of these newts. I thought I'll bring them back for the kids to have a look at. Pop in here. We're just going to keep them here for a few days before I release them. Went and had a look, and I was like, mate, you've got 2 great crested newts there. You need to release these back where you found them now before you get into a lot of trouble.
Oh, bloody hell.
That was, it was funny, but it's obviously at the same time, they were unharmed and stuff like that. I released them exactly where they found them, and then he reported it to the wildlife area, and that area is now actually under constant like monitor and work's done there.
That's cool.
Keep going, and they've found about 150 there since he reported it. It was a completely unknown location. Didn't know that was going to be any there, and since he reported it, they found like 150 of them.
So the next one is a reptile.
Oh, right. So it's not the adder. Is it the adder?
Yeah, it is the adder. No, it is the adder.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, actually, yeah, I suppose that makes sense. Although there was, maybe not. I was going to say maybe like smooth snakes and stuff like that. But
so smooth snake is actually the next one after adder.
Is it?
Yeah. So according to this, the snake species of the adder could all but disappear from UK countryside by 2032.
There's a lot of work going to stop that, though. There's a lot of people I know that do a lot of work with them, so hopefully that will happen.
Yep, and then on to the smooth snake. Yep, that is the UK's rarest reptile as well.
Correct.
In 2019, the Amphibian and Reptile Conservation Trust launched a project called Snakes in the Heather, which was backed with a £412,000 grant from the National Lottery. So there you go.
Money probably lasted 5 minutes.
Yeah, probably didn't do much. The next one is a rodent.
Rodent.
I think they fall into like the world of rodents.
Beaver?
No, much smaller than a beaver. We've already spoken about it today.
Well, we've already said dormouse.
Yeah, it's not a dormouse though.
Much smaller.
We've literally spoke about it like 15 minutes ago.
Oh, water vole.
Yeah.
Yes, water voles are rodents, yeah.
They are. The current population is estimated at 875,000. Um, but
That's a few.
it's been on the decline for the past 10 years. So there you go. They need to eat 80% of their body weight every day.
But they're not very big, luckily. So
They're not. The next one is a small garden mammal.
Hedgehog.
Yes, bang on. Estimated 100,000 hedgehogs are killed on the road every year. And although there are around 1 million left, their numbers are falling by 97%.
Bloody hell.
And the
98
last
million.
one is no, there's only around 1 million left, not 98 million.
Yeah, but if it's gone back down by 98%,
Well, yeah,
that's suggesting it'd be 98 million.
That's crazy. In 1950, there were estimated 36 million hedgehogs.
And you've been photographing every single one of them at local rescues, annoying people on Facebook.
Yeah, as I do. Sucks to be them because they're not invited. And the last one is another mammal, a mammal that we both love. In fact, we photograph them in Yorkshire, and sometimes photograph them in Yorkshire, and then most of the time we photograph them in the Cairngorms.
Mountain hares.
No.
Oh, okay. Mammal in the Cairngorms. Photograph. Pine martins.
And we photograph them in Yorkshire sometimes.
In Yorkshire, okay. Mammal.
There's a small little forest area.
Red squirrels.
Yeah.
Red squirrels. Yeah.
Red squirrel.
It threw me off there massively.
Estimated population of 140,000.
That's going up there.
But that's down to the grey squirrels and the horrible virus.
Did you know that pine martins?
The parapox virus is what it's called.
Pine martins are helping because
pine
martins don't eat red squirrels.
They don't. They go for the big greys.
Yeah, and because red squirrels blend in a lot easier with the surroundings, the pine trees, and they're a lot quicker, a lot more agile getting away. And yeah, that's why you don't see many grey squirrels in the Cairngorms.
That is true. And I believe, and I might be wrong, but if you see a grey squirrel in the Cairngorms, you have to report it. Have you gone?
No, I'm still here. I was seeing if you had any more information to be added.
No, that was literally it. You have to report it apparently. So I've heard. There you go.
Oh, interesting.
There's a bit of information for you. That's me done. I'm all facted out now. Yeah,
I don't have any to you, unfortunately.
No, there's no more, unfortunately, mate. 6 haunting facts about the UK wildlife. 41% of the UK's biodiversity has declined.
Yeah, we all knew that.
Okay. Yep. Hang on. Yeah. That was that one. 500,000 grouse are shot for fun each year.
They taste good, though.
I can't. Yeah. Must admit, they do nice. Turtle doves are nearly exterminated, apparently.
Yes. I've only ever seen one in my life.
Between 1970 and 2015, populations have depleted by 98%.
Yeah, they're a beautiful bird, but I've only ever seen one.
And here's a very good word. Hen harrier numbers have decayed by 27% between 2004 and 2016.
It's a wrong word, but okay.
Very strange word to use. I think they just wanted to chuck out some big words. 15% of wildlife is threatened with extinction.
Sounds about right.
That is obviously just relating to UK wildlife, not the bigger picture.
No, we could probably get onto that topic all night, but I think we've been talking long enough for a small episode.
We have. There you go. There's been some interesting facts in there. I've grilled you again and made you look like a tit, which was great.
You haven't, because I actually got most of them right. So
you did, but I put you on the spot, and that's all that I
don't mind showing off a bit of knowledge. I think it's my turn to choose photo of the week.
Incorrect.
Is it your turn?
It is, because you chose the pied flycatcher last time.
I did, yes. Go on then, your turn.
So if you'd like to just keep talking, because I record these episodes in a bunker. I don't get any Wi-Fi signal. So I can't load anything up.
I'll say cough into the microphone.
Yeah, just you do what you usually do, mate.
We get a lot of we've got a lot of submissions, over 200 now.
I'm gonna pick. This is a tough one, but I'm gonna go with Dave Crouchy's Sparrowhawk,
I'm looking at that right now. Yeah, it's a good photo.
and
Okay.
and as he says, it could well be a descendant of Mad Max, the male Sparrowhawk up at Allen's Hyde that Chris Packham filmed for Spring Watch.
Very
Yeah,
interesting.
great photo. Love
Yeah.
Sparrowhawks. I think they're great.
Cool. That was nice way to end it.
Yeah, that was a nice little finisher. So yeah, well done, Dave. We'll get that posted up. So
I'll let you do that because I always do it.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'm more than happy to do that. So yeah, this has been the WildTalk podcast. Next episode. Well, it's not next episode that's going to be out. But
It will be. It will be.
oh, is this episode going out like soon?
Yeah, we've got episode coming out tomorrow. So if this today we're recording this on the 14th of March. So we've got an episode coming out on the 15th, which is me and you. Got an episode coming out on the 22nd, which is Richard Birchett.
Yeah.
Then we've got this episode coming out on the 29th.
And then the episode after that will be
Mr. Haycock.
Mr. Haycock, which I'm looking forward to recording this Friday.
Should be good.
Should be good. It's nice to have the other end of the spectrum. Not saying that we've had old people on. I don't want to insult the guest by saying they're all old, but it's nice. They're knocking on a bit. It's nice to get a young photographer on.
Yeah, you don't get every time I cough it. I'm not doing that in the microphone, am I?
No. You are like coughing away from it. It's still annoying, but we can't have everything in life.
So you can mute that out when you edit this.
Yeah, maybe. I'll just leave it in.
I don't mind. Nobody's going to catch it.
Me neither. So yeah, it's been the WildTalk podcast. Fun British facts, British wildlife facts. I think that sums it up pretty much, doesn't it?
Yeah, to an extent.
Like an hour of us just waffling about facts and answering questions.
Yeah, we should do that more often, actually.
It's quite nice, isn't it? It's refreshing. Not having a specific topic, just a general waffle about wildlife.
Yeah, we'll do it again.
Sounds good to me. So yeah, until next time, guys, I'll catch you all in a bit.
See you soon.